The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
I say it's time we focus on what really matters. The games. Who's with me?
Good morning and welcome to another episode of the PlayStation Experience Podcast, the Odell Beckham Jr. to PSVG Prime's Baker Mayfield. I'm one of your hosts, Seth, and am joined, as always, by the maleficent Michigan Mariner, Justin. How's it going?
It's going good. You know, the snow is melting away. The birds are chirping.
Okay.
It's, in Michigan, there's really only a good 5 months or so that I actually enjoy the weather.
Okay.
And we're quickly approaching that time period. So
You realize you could move out of Michigan? Move
Yes.
to, like San Diego or something.
yeah,
I think about that frequently.
I think
Moving away from the Midwest.
Yeah, I think about it frequently as well. So someday maybe I'll join Coach down in Florida or something.
That could work. Once Donnie buys the compound, the PSVG compound, and puts us all up.
Oh yeah. I
then,
have no problems with Georgia, it's a beautiful state,
Yeah.
beaches and stuff, whatever.
So probably if we had enough Patreon producers, we could probably do that. I don't know how many it would take, but we do appreciate everyone who supports us on Patreon. You can visit patreon.com/PSVG to learn more. And thank you to the following producers: Coach Hulk, Edwin Callow, Dev Tyus, Kevin Austin, Chris M., Kyle Hyman, Bonesaw, Josh Borboni, Barry Cathcart, and Paul Calicote. Thank you, each and every one of you, for support. And did want to hop in last week. We talked about kind of our PS4 Classic, Justin and my favorite games on the system. Did want to say we had, I think, a couple of omissions that very, very much should have been on the list. So, God of War and Resogun, I think, should have been added to the list. If you were listening last week, those two were omitted. Of course, I haven't actually played God of War. But
Yeah, no, that one was a big omission for me because I definitely would have put it on my list.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. The way I came up with my list was I looked at all the games on my PS4. Maybe that one wasn't included for some reason because it was physical, or I thought it was included physical, but I don't know. I just missed it, and no, that's one of my favorite games on PS4, so it definitely would have been on my list. I just missed it. Resogun's also really, really great. I don't know if it would have made my top 10 or
Yeah, it's not really one of my top 10, but I think if you're looking at an example, I mean, that was probably the best game on the PS4
for 6 months, maybe more,
up until Infamous was released, at least.
Yeah.
So it's a great game. Kevin mentioned in the Discord Until Dawn, which I played I played a little bit of it, and it's a great game. But I generally don't play scary games much anymore, so I just didn't get through.
Yeah.
Wanted to jump into then what we have been playing, and it's actually been a couple weeks since we've talked a lot about what we've been playing, which is probably just as well because last week the time change kind of did a number on me.
Yeah.
And I think every day other than when we recorded our podcast, I slept in. So I actually didn't play a whole lot last week. What have you been playing recently?
I've been playing a lot of the Game of Life,
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, just been really busy lately. My wife had a baby shower this last weekend, and I get a lot of gaming time in on the weekends usually. And this weekend was just busy with baby prep stuff. So
you realize that if your wife has a baby shower, you don't generally have to go.
No,
that's not always true.
No, that's not true. I did have to help out a little bit.
Okay.
And then it was St. Patty's Day, so me and my buddy went out and got some beer as well. The girls were together, so. But yeah, other than that, other than the game of life, I did jump into The Witness, and I only played maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, solved a few puzzles, kind of got a feel for it. I want to sit down for like a good hour and probably play this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far it's like, well, the first couple puzzles are like brain-numbingly easy. So I've heard that this game gets extremely difficult.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. But it looks really good. I didn't expect it. I didn't realize how good it looked.
Oh yeah.
Got kind of a cool art style, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty game. And again, I'll reiterate the idea of if you get stuck on a puzzle, try and work through it. Don't just look up a solution for it.
Yeah.
Because as soon, I mean, that's kind of what killed the game for me. Is I started looking up a couple of solutions, and then I just didn't know how to actually solve them and figure it out on my own. So
Gotcha.
it's a really good game. Just I generally am not much of a puzzle person anymore.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely give it another shot. And then I did download the Modern Warfare remastered.
Okay.
Just to jump in that again. I've already played that before when it was originally released, but I figured I'd download it again and play it one more time since it's free.
Right. So I did that as well. I've never played it. In my history with Call of Duty is that I think I may have played some of the originals and then didn't play any until I rented both Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, and then we tried that Blackout demo. And going into Modern Warfare, it looks really good. The remake or remaster, or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
looks really good. Has an interesting story. I am just awful at it. Like I don't understand.
What difficulty are you playing on?
Regular.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can bump it down in the middle
of. You can, yeah. The only thing that gets affected is the trophies that you receive at the end,
which I wouldn't care about.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could still go in and bump it down, but I just for some reason I have trouble seeing the enemies. In that.
Yeah. I remember the first couple of missions are very dark, I believe, or there's at least a nighttime, and that can be really difficult, and yeah. But it's turn it down to easy, and it turned it into an action movie,
Yeah, I might try that. Other than that, have been playing Warframe on Switch for a little bit, and really have been enjoying that. But now that some other things are coming out, I think I might be done with it. It's a good game, but it's one of those things where playing a free game, I have trouble. I'm like, okay, I just spent however much money I spent on this new game, I'm going to play that instead of playing this free game. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing that doesn't always apply, as we'll talk about in a minute. And then the other new thing I talked about a couple weeks ago that I was getting a steering wheel. I got a Thrustmaster T150 that was on sale. It's like on clearance at Best Buy, and I had some Best Buy money. And I've gotten that, and I've played around with GT Sport, NASCAR Heat, Project Cars, and the Crew 2, just kind of bouncing around between all of them to see how the wheel feels for them. I'll say with the Crew 2, starting with that, it does not feel good with the wheel. I'm sure you could tune it or something, but the wheel doesn't automatically just kind of recognize what you're.
Is it too arcadey of a game? Is that why? Or?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
But it's just like when I turn the wheel, it's not 1-to-1 or anywhere close.
Okay.
So, which is the whole point of having the wheel.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that's what my kids wanted to try that one. And then the first thing they wanted to do was be the plane. I said, well, you can't do a steering wheel with a plane. And of course you can kind of, but it's not, it doesn't really work. You can do it with the boats in the crew.
Yeah, but that would make sense. Yeah.
But whatever, they wanted to be the plane.
Yeah.
Project Cars, I probably need to go in and try and tune it a little more, but I was still spinning out quite a bit. NASCAR, actually, I like it better than the controller, but kind of like the real life NASCAR, I just wreck a lot in NASCAR Heat. And then the wheel feels great in Gran Turismo feels, basically just like you're driving. And I'm not better at the game yet. I haven't played it enough, but I don't know. It's more immersive, and I feel like I'm hopefully starting to get better, or
Yeah.
you have a better feel for where you're going.
Yeah.
Because I'm steering with a steering wheel instead of with a thumbstick.
Yeah.
All right. So, figured we would just jump into things here, and embrace our
What we've actually been playing.
what we've actually been playing, and just for maybe for a little while here, or for as long as we're actually playing it, we'll have a segment on the show just called Apex Legends Corner, where we just talk about Apex Legends. And we're not going to go too deep into it because I don't know how many people in PSVG are playing it, but it is. It's the one game that I've been playing on a weekly basis since it came out. So
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I said I didn't play a lot of games, but that's not Apex is almost just like a guaranteed. I'm gonna play for a match or two every night before I go to bed. So
yeah, it's really good. And I actually hadn't played it for a few days until just last night. So what has been your, I guess, experience over the past week with it? I know they've had a patch. They nerfed the couple of guns.
The Wingman and the Peacekeeper were nerfed. Which I definitely noticed it with the Peacekeeper. I mean, I actually had because I was using the Peacekeeper a lot when it was kind of starting out, and I was having good success with it. And then I played a couple matches, and I was like, hey, I'm just not getting I was getting shots in with the Peacekeeper and just like wasn't doing the damage I was used to. Yeah. And then I read later, I was like, oh, it got nerfed. And so I actually just completely stopped playing with shotguns after that. Because like, I mean, if I'm gonna get 3 shots on someone with a single shotgun, I feel like it should, at least knock them down, but I wasn't getting that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing almost nightly and haven't had as much success. I had like one really good week, that one week where I won like 4 matches and in a couple nights in a row. And then I've just been not having good success lately, but still having a lot of fun. I'm getting grouped up with better people, I feel like, lately.
Okay.
A lot, like I've gotten quite a few matches now where it's like I'm getting grouped up with people who are definitely better than me, or at least appear that way based on their stats.
Right.
We're losing, so I guess maybe they're not that great, but yeah, just been playing.
Have you encountered the jump pads?
No, I was completely unaware of that until you mentioned that.
Okay.
And I watched a video, but no, I've never seen those. I played for a couple hours yesterday and didn't, or maybe an hour, but didn't see that at all.
Yeah, so you can find the stories other places too, but over on IGN it says Apex Legends may be teasing Octane with a new in-game item. Small gray and green jump pads have appeared in Kings Canyon, and it appears that these special items are a tease for the upcoming new legend. They're over by the market, and I did find them. They're kind of fun to use to hop up on top of the roof at the market, but I don't tactically haven't really used them yet.
Yeah.
I guess talking a little bit about that Octane. So last Tuesday, March 12th, the rumor was that the Season 1 and the Battle Pass were going to drop that day, and a new hero was this Octane Borderlands looking guy. Well, the 12th came, and the Origin Store, EA Origin Store on PC, updated and had like a promo for the Battle Pass and for Octane. So it appears that Octane is actually a real thing.
Okay.
They took down the promo because apparently it's just not ready yet, and Respawn added an explanation on Reddit and just said, they'll once it's ready, once they have information to share, they'll share it.
Yep.
And they haven't yet. But it appears that if you've seen that image of Octane around, that is true. That is likely the next character. The other thing about that leak showed that the Battle Pass is going to cost $9.50, 950 Apex coins, or whatever the pay currency is. It's going to cost 950 of those. Okay. So basically, you'll buy 1,000, and then.
Gotcha. And is there an option to just pay like $9.99 for 1,000?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that makes it pretty easy then.
Yeah.
Um,
As far as I can tell, and I've not, played Fortnite enough to know how the battle pass works there, and how I know that in Fortnite you can earn enough currency in game to pay for a battle pass if you play it enough. So far, there's no way to earn those Apex coins in the game. You have to pay for that currency. So I don't know if that'll be a possibility in the future or how that'll work. But I'm perfectly happy paying $10. I haven't put any money in the game so far because I've been waiting for the battle pass.
yeah.
And I want to support the game in that way rather than just paying $30 for the founders pack or whatever. So,
Yeah. And I still think that, I wouldn't want to buy skins or anything like that. Their skins are still pretty expensive and don't really seem worth it. So, no, I'm happy to drop $10 on this and check out the new character.
yeah. So, and it should be. I mean, we are recording this on Monday morning. Heck, by Wednesday,
It could be any day.
drop.
Yeah.
Or it could be, the only thing they said is by the end of March. So they've got another week and a half here.
Yeah.
Speaking of success in Apex Legends, I finally won my second match last night, playing as Bangalore because someone else was already Lifeline. But I was matched up with two really good people who were on the mic together. They must have been grouped up together.
Okay.
And I just kind of followed them around. I thought I did some damage. I knew I didn't get any kills, but I thought I helped. But at the end of the game, as we're champions, it shows up, and both of my teammates have 1,000 damage, and I had 17. Which of course, they started joking about, and then I exited to lobby, so I didn't have to hear it anymore.
Okay, there you go.
But hey, we won.
Did you get knocked down a lot, or
I got. They had to revive me once.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, but other than that, I hung around them, and I was involved in firefights. I just
and I
hit them.
So I've kind of had similar scenarios where I'm playing with guys that are definitely better than me, and it's like as long as you stay up for the most part, and you're a distraction for other players, and you're involved in the firefights, then maybe you didn't get the actual hits in or any kills, but I think it's still, without you, maybe they wouldn't have won.
Maybe we had the fight ended. The circle was closing in around, I forget what the area is, but it was around some mountains. So movement space was pretty restricted, and our Wraith had a portal inside the circle and that led to outside the circle. So we kept kind of jumping back and forth between the two. And I was down by that point. Actually, I was knocked down, and then got revived, and then all of a sudden we won. Like I thought we were done for. Because the other team was in a better position than us. I don't know. So it was fun. It was exciting. And then the next round, playing as Lifeline, I got a kill and did some damage, and so I don't have a lot of kills yet, but I'm trying to be more aggressive, and so I feel more confident at the game, even though I guess when I'm have my best chance to win, it's going to be because of somebody else, not because of me, most likely.
Yeah, I'm still in that boat. It's definitely like when I get into a match and I'm with other people, I have 4 kills or level 3 or something like that. I know right away it's like, well, I'm not good enough to carry a team or anything. So, but I still play and have fun, and
right.
That's just the thing, is even when I'm losing, I'm still somehow having fun as long as I get some hits in, or at least tried.
Right.
That if I get sniped or something from really far away and we lose, all of a sudden, that might not be as fun. But no, it's continues to be fun.
All right. Well, moving on from Apex Legends corner, skip the cheat thing. There have been talks about cheat makers. It's an interesting article over on Kotaku called "Cheat Makers Are Cleaning Up in Apex Legends." That's a PC thing where people are selling cheats and things like you can see through the smoke, or there's some auto aim things, and which I don't understand the point of that, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think every single game invented has had a cheater at some point. You look at gambling, poker, and like there's people have been trying to cheat on games for like, and there's not even money involved with this. You're right. Like, why does it matter? But
Right. Well, but people are making some money. So
yeah.
Check it out on Kotaku. Breaking news. Okay, this isn't really breaking news anymore, but after we recorded PSXP on Monday, of course, later in the day, Respawn finally released the details about the Apex Legends Season 1 and the Battle Pass. It is live now as you are listening to this. Went live Tuesday afternoon Eastern Time. And Apex Legends Season 1 is called The Wild Frontier. And on the cover of the season is, of course, Octane, the long-rumored extra character to Apex Legends. So first, the season is expected to last till sometime in June, maybe mid-June, kind of like this was mid-March. It is a content drop, and everybody who plays during the season will have a chance to earn some free rewards. You can earn a Wild Frontier Legend skin, 5 Apex packs, and 18 stats trackers for free as you play. And then, of course, Octane has also been released. Octane, getting into him in a little bit, for just a little bit. After blowing his legs off in a record-breaking gauntlet speedrun, Octavio Octane Silva is diving into the Apex games with metal legs and even bigger ambitions. He's searching for the ultimate adrenaline rush by using his death-defying moves to become an Apex champion. His adrenaline junkie ability lets him trade health for speed, and an endless supply of stim health regeneration means he's always ready for action. His Launchpad ultimate ability lets his squad fly through the air with the greatest of ease. Jump into Apex Legends and play as Octane now. So over on Polygon, they talk about, they have a good rundown of the patch that was just released. So Octane, his passive ability is called Swift Mend. While not taking damage, Octane restores 1 health every 2 seconds. For a noob like me, that sounds pretty good. His tactical ability is called Stim. You move 30% faster for 6 seconds, and it costs health to use. While active, Octane is affected less by attacks that cause slowdown. There's a 2-second recharge. Holy moly. His ultimate is Launchpad. It is a deployable jump pad that catapults players through the air. It takes 90 seconds to recharge. He costs 12,000 legend tokens or 750 Apex coins. So, going back into the Battle Pass. So, the Battle Pass has launched. It costs 950 Apex coins, which is equivalent basically to $9.50. You can also buy a pass for $25 or it might be $28. 2,800 Apex coins. That you get the pass plus the first 25 Battle Pass levels and their rewards. Within the Battle Pass, there are 100 levels, which I understand is similar to Fortnite. So you have 100 tiers, and you earn tiers as you play. The more you play, just like you level up your account. And with each tier, there's an unlockable thing. So if you're just playing in the season and decide you don't want to jump in and buy the Battle Pass yet, you can play for a while. And let's say you get up to 30 tiers. You've leveled up the season 30 times. You can then pay for the Battle Pass and get all the rewards from those 30 tiers. Or you can buy the ultimate Battle Pass for the 2,800 coins. And you would get, those 30 levels plus the next 25 levels. So there's some interesting things there. Automatically, by buying the initial Battle Pass, you get 3 skins immediately. And they are for, of course, I do not have that up here right now. The skins are for Lifeline and Mirage. And there's one more. And they're not my favorite, I guess, skins to start off with. Lifeline, Mirage, and Wraith. They're just kind of camouflagey kind of skins, but whatever, they look cool. I am all about the Lifeline, any Lifeline skins. Give me all the Lifeline. So the other of the 100 tiers in total, there are 4 skins, 3 of which you get automatically from buying the pass, 21 weapon skins, 9 Season 1 kill counters, 1 for each character that you unlock throughout, which is kind of weird because, early on, I forget who the first kill counter at level 3, you unlock the Wraith Season 1 kill counter. Then at level 8, you would unlock Bloodhound, and it goes on. It goes on from there. So if you're like a Gibraltar main, you don't unlock Gibraltar's kill counter until level 38. So that kind of would stink if you're specifically want a one character's counter. There are 9 new intro lines, 1 for each character, 19 badges, 1 every 5 levels that shows how far you got in the battle pass. 9 non-legendary banners, 1 for each character. 14 coin packs that we don't know what their value is currently, or we might know by now, actually. Heck, I'm sure by the time this podcast drops, there will be somebody who's already level 100 in this thing. Anyway, 14 coin packs, 10 XP boosts, and 6 loot boxes, including a couple of... there's a purple loot box and then a gold loot box, so I'm sure you'll get legendary loot out of those. The coin packs, my guess would be, if you max out this battle pass, you'll probably have enough Apex coins to either just bank and save for Season 2 battle pass, or to buy a character with. Maybe you want to go ahead and buy Octane with it, with those coins. I'm sure that that possibility is there. So other than that, there was a patch that also dropped on Tuesday, and let me get to the patch. There were stability and performance issues. There was an issue with PlayStation 4 crashes due to running out of memory. There's a report a player feature for cheating and abuse on PC. You can also report a player for abuse on consoles. You can report players from the spectate view after dying, or when looking at your team's banner cards in the squad tab. That's pretty good. I haven't had it'll be interesting to dive into that. My biggest issue with players has been, you jump into the match and then one of your teammates just drops out right away. And sometimes that could be a legitimate reason for it, but it's happened a number of times, and it's just kind of a pain, because then you're left with just one partner and you're compromised from the start. It says optimize skydiving to improve overall server performance, and fixed a bug where sometimes the client could crash when opening Apex packs one right after the other. Quality of life, they added the ability to swap the L1R1 and L2R2 in the controller button layout settings. You can add sprint view shake setting under the video tab, so you can make it more minimal when you're running faster, so that if you get bothered by motion sickness, you can customize your trigger dead zones. It added advanced look controls. You can fine-tune specific aspects of the look controls for a custom feel, such as dead zone, response curve, target compensation, and more. When you relinquish the Jumpmaster position to another player, you will now hear your Legend's VO line in addition to the new Jumpmaster. The third player won't hear it, though. Updated the Pathfinder grapple icon, and there were a number of patch notes. You can find patch notes online. Those were kind of the first ones and the ones I found most interesting. So, they did adjust the hitboxes for Gibraltar, Caustic, and Pathfinder to better align with their shapes. Should make them a little easier to use, I guess. I don't think that they added, they added Octane, the new legend. They did not add a new weapon yet, but we know there's one coming pretty soon. So that's it. Apex Legends Season 1 Battle Pass. I know I'm excited for it, and I know Justin's pretty excited for it too. To be honest, there aren't necessarily a lot of great weapon skins. The level 100 skin for the Havoc is pretty stellar. I have no clue if I'll get there, but I'm going to try. So anyway, now we'll go back to the regular show. So moving forward to the releases for the week, the drop over on PS Blog wanted to draw some attention to just kind of going down in alphabetical order. A game called Alwa's Awakening. It's a side-scrolling 2D platformer Metroidvania kind of thing. I know Jason, famous over on the Nintendo Shack, taking a little break right now, but he reviewed that game on PC whenever it came out and enjoyed it quite a bit. So that might be something to check out if you're into that stuff. Down a little further, The Messenger, which is that Ninja Gaiden-esque 8-bit / 16-bit side-scrolling game. It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a big twist right in the middle of the game as well. I don't really know what it is, but
yeah, I don't know the twist. The only twist I know, or the big thing I saw about it is you switch from the 8-bit graphics to the 16-bit graphics, and that changes the gameplay somehow.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know if there's something more to it than that.
Maybe that's right.
The big game coming out this week is Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, the next game by From Software, published by Activision, where you are a samurai warrior, ninja warrior, but not an American ninja warrior, an actual ninja warrior. Where are you on the Sekiro bandwagon?
I'm not like I haven't gotten into the Souls games, and I just didn't get into Bloodborne enough. So the setting looks cool, a little bit cooler to me, but I just don't think I'll be into it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm jumping into it. I was going to hold off, but I had some money over on Amazon, and just feel like getting into it because the more that I watch, the more that I want to try it out. And I know there's every chance that I won't get very far in it. It's supposed to be very tough, but it seems a little more forgiving than Bloodborne or Dark Souls. It's not something where you die and then you have to make it back to where you dropped all your souls and pick them up or anything. You don't lose progress like that. It's not not an RPG where you kind of roll your own character and make your own person. It's you are this character, Sekiro. You are tasked with protecting a young lord, and that young lord is captured, and you are killed, and your arm is severed.
Yeah.
And then you are kind of resurrected and given a new arm that has some powers on it.
Yeah.
And then so throughout the game, you have a skill tree rather than pumping up stats. You're skill tree,
which is very different from the other games.
Yes.
So that does make me much more interested. That seems more like a regular action RPG almost.
Yeah.
And this is the first game where the protagonist is fully voiced in the cutscenes, I believe.
Yeah, the protagonist, he's fully voiced because it's a specific character. I think that is partly why.
That's the point. Yeah.
It's also the first one they've done where there's of the Soulsborne genre, where there's a jump button. So it's a very vertical game. You have a grappling hook where you can grapple around and get up high and jump down over enemies. It looks very fast moving and really it just looks like a good game. I loved the Bloodborne combat because it was faster than the Dark Souls combat.
Yep.
And this game just seems even faster. And you are really rewarded for being more aggressive, because there's actually no one of the, I guess, hallmarks of the combat in their Soulsborne games is you have stamina, and with this you don't have stamina. You I forget what the meter is, but there's another meter that you are kind of managing.
I wonder if it's like more like mana or almost something related to the arm, maybe in some way.
Yeah, I forget what it is. I'll find out more. The bad thing with the timing of it is it comes out on Friday, and then next week is my spring break week, which is great. except I won't be getting up early to play games, which is
Yeah.
fun.
Yep.
So I won't really be playing Sekiro very much during the first week it's out. So it might be a couple weeks before I have any feedback on it.
Yeah.
But I am excited to play it. I'm excited to jump in, and it's definitely the first game this year that I've been really anticipating. Even Anthem, I was kind of getting it because it was the next big thing and because it was BioWare, but I wasn't
Yeah.
really into it. And that's it. I think that's it for the drop. There's a couple interesting things in there. The big rumor that came out last week related to Sony, and figured we had to at least mention it, was that there was a rumor on MarketWatch that Take-Two shares jumped about 7% due to rumors about a potential takeover from Sony. That was kind of debunked by Sony later on, saying that the spokesperson for Sony said they don't know where the rumor is coming from and there is no such plan. And a Take-Two spokesperson said the company does not comment on rumors or speculation, which of course that made the shares drop back down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not going to happen, supposedly.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? But when you first heard that, what were your thoughts? Were you? I mean, that's a pretty big thing if that were to actually happen.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really believe it at first. Like, I mean, Sony wants to, I think they want to more smartly invest their money, like not just buy one of the biggest games in the world and be done. You know, they'd rather invest in these smaller teams that grow into be Naughty Dog level teams, you know? So yeah, I guess I just didn't really believe it and the thing about, if they were to buy Take-Two, GTA wouldn't be GTA and Red Dead wouldn't. I think everything would get massively cut down. Honestly, because you're just not going to get as many sales for the company is worth less if you can only sell it on Sony platforms.
Right.
You know, the reason that Red Dead, or the reason GTA 5 has sold so many copies and keeps selling it, is because they're on PC, Xbox, you know, the old systems, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox, you know, they're not everything. So, and there's even rumors of GTA 5 coming to Switch now. So, which would be, you know, funny. So yeah, I just don't think it'd be smart, really.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good idea. It's like, yeah, buy GTA 5, but then GTA 5 sells a quarter of what it would normally. So, can you afford the same team?
The big thing they'd be missing would be the PC market.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, GTA 5, it is, you know, at this point 6 years old, and it's been on 2 generations of consoles. It's out everywhere, so its sales numbers are a little bit skewed. But I mean, if just Rockstar games were exclusive to PS5, you know, that would be a huge trump card. If Rockstar games, plus you look at NBA 2K, WWE 2K, the Gearbox games, you know, Borderlands 3 is likely going to be announced officially next week at I think PAX East. I know that Gearbox has been teasing the reveal of a new game or possibly new games. So, you know, if Borderlands 3, GTA, the next Red Dead or Red Dead Online or whatever, if they were all exclusive to PlayStation 5, I don't think, you know, Xbox could give their games away for free, which they basically do on Game Pass already.
Yeah.
But if you don't have GTA on your console and your Xbox, obviously for Nintendo it doesn't matter as much because they have Mario and Zelda.
Yeah, they have other big exclusives.
But for Xbox specifically, a lot of trouble. Of course, Xbox is doing a lot of interesting things with the xCloud, and you know, the idea of just wanting to get their games on and their services on whatever platforms.
Their services and their platform, really. You know, they want yeah.
So things are changing. It'll be, these next 10 years will be interesting. I mean, the last 10 years. So
yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't appear that Sony is actually going to buy Take-Two, but it was fun speculation for about a day there. One other news item about Sekiro, I should have brought it up when I was talking about it, but I looked up the embargo because I was interested. If reviews came out early this week and they were awful, which I'm not expecting, then I might not jump in. But I was interested in when the embargo would lift. The embargo does not lift until after launch. Activision isn't sending out any early review code. So not only is the embargo not lifting, nobody has early copies of the game. When you can go around and look at a bunch of previews, but they're all controlled invitation only events. Where journalists got the reviewers got access to a few hours of the game in one specific area. And there's no early review copies. So I don't know. That's not something that's worrying to me. I think everyone who's played the game, who enjoys From Software's games, have enjoyed this game so far. And I don't,
Yeah. I think usually when you hear about something like this, it's about a game that already looks like it might not be ready to hit the mark or something like that. But people are more confident with this group, with the Souls games and stuff. And I'm almost wondering, thinking about the Anthem review, and how that was handled by outlets. Is I wonder if Sekiro has a pretty decent day one patch.
That could be.
And because most games do nowadays, and maybe it's just harder for these. You don't want to give a game to a reviewer 2 weeks early who doesn't get the day one patch, and maybe that day one patch makes significant changes to the gameplay. And I could see that could easily happen with a Souls type game, where you change one stat about the character movement or something like that, and all of a sudden the game just plays differently. So, I could see how we'd get more of this, because that was a huge complaint with Anthem, is outlets were having to try to review it twice or hold off on the review, even though they had an early review copy, because there was a huge day one patch that supposedly was going to fix a lot of the issues people had. Right. But they couldn't. That was the promise, but they didn't know for sure. So
yeah, it's interesting. It's not something, like I said, that concerns me. Now, if it was a new developer or like the next game from BioWare,
yeah,
I would hope that there are early review copies, just early impressions, and there have been early impressions. They've shown a lot about Sekiro. It was the game of the month at Game Informer a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Which is where I really kind of caught the bug. By the way, those Game Informer, whatever they call them, where they focus on a game for the entire month, or
it's their cover story, because they still have print, so they still have covers. So
right. So they did Sekiro 1 month, and then the Outer Worlds the next month. This month is Control. And all of the video content. I haven't gotten the magazine for a couple years now, but the video content for all of those have been tremendous. Everyone should check those out if they're remotely interested in those 3 games or in any of Game Informer's cover stories. Control looks pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen.
I've watched some of their stuff on Control, and I'm very curious to play Control. I think I'll be in on that one pretty early.
I will say the people they interviewed for the Outer Worlds were they were funny and very good talkers and engaging. The 2 people they were interviewing on Control were a little bit drier. But again, if you're a game developer, you're not necessarily that public person.
And sometimes it's a lot of these developers are in other countries, and we just have different sense of humors and mannerisms, so it doesn't quite it's hard to get that across sometimes. So it's kind of funny. It's almost funny to still see when they don't quite handle it as well, and it's like they're like the Game Informer people will try their hardest to kind of spice it up and say it's not going anywhere. It's like a train wreck you can't stop looking at.
So anyway, everyone should check out those Game Informer videos. And then another news item. Why don't you hit the No Man's Sky news?
Yeah, No Man's Sky was No Man's Sky Beyond was announced, which is basically No Man's Sky Online. So they're adding a massive multiplayer update to. They're not calling it MMO, but they are adding a huge online component to No Man's Sky. Unveiled by developer Hello Games and Sean Murray, No Man's Sky Beyond will arrive this summer on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, will contain 3 major updates rolled into one larger free release. And the first component is No Man's Sky Online. So I just continue to be absolutely shocked that they are updating this game and continue to work on it. I think after everything's said and done with this game, it's going to turn out to be kind of what they originally planned on.
Yeah.
It's almost like they really did need several more years, and they probably needed playtesters. They probably needed people to jump into the game to really understand it a little more. It's free, so it's like, and I own the game, so why not just jump back in and see what it's all about?
Yeah.
I did do that with No Man's Sky Next, which was their last big update, which was, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago.
Last summer. Yeah.
Yeah. So
like August.
And I just nothing was changed too much in I didn't play long enough to see the updates or whatever. So, but maybe I'll give it another shot.
Yeah, when they did that update last year, I jumped back in and started playing with the one friend that I game with quite a bit. And it was his first time playing it, and it's hard to remember there's a ton of, you talked about Red Dead having a lot of systems, all the systems in No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
There's a lot to keep track of, and
they don't explain a lot of those systems.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're just like dying on a planet and you're like, well, I don't really know why I'm dying.
Right.
So,
but and there is a little bit of, some planets are toxic, some are too hot, some are too cold. But really the solution for all of them, for how to deal with them, is pretty similar. It's basically the same. So I really enjoy the game still. I think it's really graphically gorgeous. I just think the art style is great. It's it's that 50s, 60s sci-fi vision.
Yeah, the art style is very cool. I've always liked that.
And I love the music, and I like the basic gameplay, but it does it's repetitive. Look at Minecraft. And I know there's more to it than this, but you chop down a tree and mine underground, and you just chop at things with a pickaxe and occasionally attack zombies. This, you shoot at things with a laser, and you occasionally get attacked by robots. Basically. So I will be interested. I'm one thing with the teaser trailer here, there's the picture of it, just says No Man's Sky Beyond, and it has a red background. So I clicked on the teaser trailer expecting it to show something, and it's really just a reveal of that logo.
Oh, okay.
So it I don't know, it was just kind of a funny trailer.
Yeah.
So I am interested in seeing what the 2 extra things are, what multiplayer, if the idea here is that it's just easier to meet up with people and go exploring. Okay. If there's going to be any more combat, which it's not the best
feeling combat.
Yeah. It's not a great
shooter.
Not a great shooter. So,
I think that was one thing. If it had better shooting mechanics and just because there is combat stuff there, it just isn't great. Yeah. So you almost just are persuaded to not not partake in it at all. Yeah. If it had better shooting mechanics and stuff like that, I think I probably would have gotten it a little more, because that's how I would have wanted to play my playthrough, was to be a soldier or whatever. So but yeah, I'm gonna jump in because I have it and it's a free update, so I want to see what it's all about.
And they definitely, I think, going back to when they launched the game, they just needed to launch it as early access for $30. Do what Dreams is doing this year. Both of those are games that were worked on for a long time, had a lot of people skeptical ahead of time. And, with Dreams, they were upfront about, here's this early trial beta, and then now they're selling this early access thing, where I think No Man's Sky it was early access. They just didn't brand it as early. If they had branded it as early access, I think the whole narrative and the initial thoughts about the entire game would have, you look at how long Minecraft was in beta.
Yeah.
Before it officially. So, but it really shows a lot that they continue to add things to it. It's a good game. And it's in some ways unlike anything else that you'll find in terms of a shared universe online. It really is a special game if you give it a chance.
Put a little bit of time into it.
Yeah. Speaking of flying and spaceship things, I jumped into Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Oh yeah.
It was on sale through Newegg for $15, the starter kit. And I got it on Switch because that's where you can play as Star Fox.
Yeah.
So it just, sadly with that game, I'm sure it plays great on PlayStation, but I feel like PlayStation and Xbox kind of get the shaft because they don't get, Nintendo has Star Fox on it and PlayStation doesn't have, it's not like they're playing the game with Nathan Drake as the pilot or anything, there's no PlayStation specific thing. So,
because I've always just kind of seen it and I thought it's just it's a Star Fox game.
Yeah.
That's the way they advertised it.
But I've only played 25 minutes of it so far. But it looks really good on Switch and it controls well. And it's my attraction to it has been that it's kind of like No Man's Sky, but more directed with a story. It's only set in one system, and I think there's only a few planets that we'll get to bounce around to. I haven't even gotten to fly really in off planet yet. But you're always in your ship gliding around the planet. And it's a solid game. I can tell that 30 minutes in, but it reminds me a lot of No Man's Sky. You have to go and get resources and collect them and upgrade your ship and upgrade your guns and character. But it's directed. There's an actual story there rather than just, a sandbox where you're making your own thing. But it is open world. It's not a linear story like I think Star Fox games have been. I've never played a Star Fox. I think they've been linear shooting.
Yeah, very, very.
Oh. Anyway, for $15, I figured
that's
worth it.
Yeah.
So, and with that, I think we're good for this week. PlayStation Experience Podcast. We will be back next week. Hopefully talking some Division 2 with Justin, getting his.
That's the plan. I really wanted to play it this last weekend, and I hope people are really. The reception's been pretty good, I think, so far.
Yeah.
So, I just need to find some time and play it this week.
Yep. So hopefully we'll have some talk about Division 2, maybe some Sekiro. I'm guessing not from me quite yet, but. And I can guarantee we'll be talking more Apex Legends. So that'll be very exciting for everyone. You can reach out to us on the Discord. Visit psvg.blog to find more information about that. Also, patreon.com/psvg. Reach out to us on Twitter at PSXP Podcast. You can also send us email at psxppodcast@gmail.com. I check it very occasionally. And feel free to send in questions to the show, comments. Tell us how wrong we are about our top games list from last week.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us what you think about Sekiro as it comes out, or the Division 2. And we haven't done a community gaming night for a little bit. We tried with that Call of Duty Blackout when it was free a couple months ago.
Yeah.
We should set that up again. Maybe we'll talk about that. And talk about
good
that.
Idea.
And set that up next week. So anyway, have a great week. Never stop gaming, and we're out.
And though we may pledge fanboy allegiances to different flags, deep down inside, we all serve one master, one king, and his name is gaming. Forever may he reign!
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network.